Hey, this is Mr. V over here doing a book review today for Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. Before I get into my book review, you should know I try to do a spoiler-free book review, so if you see me looking down occasionally, I just have some notes, so I try not to give any spoilers away. So, let's get into the book review for Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. So, this book is basically, you follow two characters, George and Lenny, and George and Lenny are very different people. One of them's a little smarter, pretty sharp, where the other one's a much bigger guy, kind of a slow type of person. And they both are friends, and they have a dream of owning a farm one day and retiring there. And they're willing to work for it. And they're just going farm to farm, doing different work, hoping to get that farm one day. And that's basically the premise of the book. So, you should know before you get into this book that it's a pretty simple story. It's not, as you heard, it's a pretty simple story, and also that it's short. It's a novella, not a novel. And just know that it's short and it's a simple story. And I think, you want to go in with that mindset before you start the book. You want to know that. So going with that mindset, because I actually felt that this book, it was a lot of fun because I think it had a nice plot of that, and it felt almost like that parent-child relationship, as one of them kind of the sharper guy, he's almost like the parent, and the slower guy, he's kind of like the child. And it had that parent-child relationship, and one of them taking care of each other. But and it's a nice plot in that the dreams that you have for the future, and that's a lot of fun about the dreams that they have for the future. And it's also not only the dreams they have for the future, but they're willing to work for it, and they're trying to work towards that dream. But it's also cool that everyone's dream is different in that they both want to own that farm and that type of thing, but what they basically will enjoy from the farm is quite different. So it's kind of cool knowing that everyone's dream is different, and that's really how it is, in life. And that's why I thought it was a nice plot. And I also thought that the author did a very nice character development. While it is a short book, you know who those characters are very quickly. Within a page or two, you already know who the characters are just through the dialogue that they have. And there's many characters, which you'll hear about in just a sec, but there's many characters, and he develops the characters very quickly just through some very quick dialogue, and you basically know who the characters are. And he even describes what they look like, so you can kind of picture them, and I always enjoy that. You like to have a picture of who the characters are. And I think he does that, and he develops the characters well, because this book overall is written very well. As he not only develops the characters well, but he sets the scenery very quickly. You can kind of picture the scenery as well. He just sets the scene and the tone of everything. He sets it very quickly. And as I said, the characters move in different areas, and you just can picture it, and you know exactly where they are. And again, I think that's just because he sets it, he just writes it very well. Now, some of the things that I did not like about the book, and it's kind of a mixed bag on didn't like, in that one thing that was a little part that I was whatever to me, was I felt that he had many characters in the book. It's a very short book. As I said, it's a novella, yet he has a decent amount of characters in there. So, I didn't like that aspect. The good thing, though, is that they're very easy to follow characters, and you know who the characters are very quickly. So that is the good thing about it. But, I thought that maybe it had a few too many characters, but, and then as for the end, I judge an end by many things. I judge, first, did you like the end? But also, does it wrap everything up? Because you don't want many loose ends, things like that. And overall, I felt that this had a decent end. It wasn't amazing, but I thought it had a decent end. There was one odd thing that he did, which I cannot say, but there's one odd thing that he did that was only at the end. I don't know why Steinbeck did that. It was kind of odd to me why he did that at the very end, but overall, I thought that it was a good overall end. And that it was good overall, and that it was a good overall book, and I really enjoyed the book because I felt that this book had like a deep meaning. Yeah, there is a story, but you get the deep meaning very quickly, and it had a deep meaning about relationships with people, about working, and dreams for the future. And I thought it had a very deep meaning for that. And and that's why I liked it. And he was able to accomplish all this despite it being a short book, because it's a short book, so he doesn't go super in depth, but he was able to do that, like translate that meaning to you. And I felt the book didn't need to be longer. I thought it was a good book for that. Now I'm going to give it my official rating. I always rate my books on a scale of 0 to 10. A 0 is an awful book you never want to read. A 5 is average. And a 10 is phenomenal. If it gets anywhere near 10, you should put that on your reading list. Because I'm a tough critic, then a 5 is average. So it's hard to move up even 1 point in my rating system. So, for the book Of Mice and Men, I'm going to rate this book a 7.5. Which is very high in my rating system. But the reason I'm rating it a 7.5 was that I just thought that, this was a great story and it had a deep meaning of many things. And, because I liked that it had a deep meaning of relationships, work, and dreams for the future. Yet he was able to also write it well and develop the characters, and Steinbeck was able to do all this in a very short book. And, I just really enjoyed the book overall. So, I highly recommend this book, that you guys go out and read it at some point. But if you guys have any questions, comments, disagreements, please post it in the comments section below. I hope you guys click the subscribe button, as I always upload multiple different types of book reviews. But thank you for watching my book review today. This is Mr. V. Go enjoy reading.